So, I've been absolutely no-lifing this new Fortnite season since about 9 a.m. this morning, and while I absolutely am loving it so far, and I think it's great for Fortnite and for the game as a whole, I do think there's some stuff that should be tweaked a little bit, and so I wanted to hop on here and share my thoughts on the season, the good, and the bad as well. And yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it. So, first off, I wanted to discuss the map. I think the map this season is absolutely perfect, and I know it's going to keep evolving through every single week of the season, right? Every single season will be a new week, and so, for Season 7, they'll add the snow and whatnot. I think they absolutely nailed it here. I know it was a big talking point that they were going to bring back the OG map and, whatever they were going to do with that, and they absolutely nailed it. Lucky Landing is in the game for the first time in about 3 years. Retail, Tilted, all these great locations they really brought back, and they did them justice. Now, I know some people may talk about Trump Tower being taken away from Tilted, and while I do understand that, it's just one building in the entire POI. I think they kept true to what they were doing. And yeah, so I think the map and the locations are a fantastic A+ for me. They did a great job. And so next, I want to talk about the Battle Pass. I think this Battle Pass is incredible, and I know it's shorter. It's only 70 tiers instead of 100 tiers. But what I will say is they absolutely nailed the collab skins. And what I mean by that is Omega Rock, right? Taking Omega and Ragnarok, putting them together. They have Lynx and the Renegade Raider, putting them together. It's such a good idea, right? And I think they absolutely nailed the Battle Pass. I think it's a great Battle Pass. It's absolutely worth it. And with it still being 70 tiers, you can still get 1,000 V-Bucks back. So you have to grind less to get the same amount of V-Bucks that you would in most previous seasons. So I think the Battle Pass, they absolutely nailed 100%. And next, I wanted to talk about the gunplay. I think the gunplay this season feels great. Absolutely amazing. Obviously, I've been playing it for a little bit, and I know some people will be complaining about sweats, and I know it's inevitable that you will face players that are going to come up to you and triple ramp and just absolutely box you and destroy you, and that's just going to happen. That's just the nature of it. But the gunplay itself, the one pumps, right? Pumps can do 200. It's amazing. And I was going to talk about this later, but the way that the OG guns play, like your M16, your standard AR, the pump with the SMG, it just feels so clean, and it feels like there's not a lot of distractions on in this loot pool. I think the loot pool is fantastic. Now, I will say it does feel a little bit all over the place. 1 second you got a rift to go, and then there's an impulse grenade, and then you're getting hit with a rocket launcher and then a grenade launcher, right? So it can be a little bit crazy sometimes, but I think that's what brings it back, and I think a lot of people will actually come to appreciate that the more they get their hands on it. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the graphics. I think this is kind of a controversial take here, because I know some people wanted like the super OG graphics back, but I think they super leveled up here on the graphics front. The graphics look amazing, and yeah, when you play the game, it looks great. It feels great to be back, right? And that's the feeling you get when you jump on to the game for the first time in a long time. The graphics, I think, absolutely out of the park, and you can just tell from the gameplay how good, how crispy it looks. The Loot Lake water, it looks great, and it's definitely improvement over the real OG Fortnite, from 2017, 2018. Even though some people might want those OG kind of, I don't know how to say it, the misty kind of blurry graphics back, it's not going to come back. It's not realistic. They've updated their engine. They're on a whole new engine. So I think the new graphics are definitely a plus. And I know I touched on this before, but I want to finish off the pro section by saying the mobility in this season feels great. Even though there's no cars yet, you have ATK's shopping carts, and as well as that, you also have rift to goes are in the game, impulse grenades are in the game. It's really easy to get around the map. They have zip lines all over Loot Lake. It's really easy to get where you want to go quick, and I think that's super important for this season, and it will only continue to get better. I know planes are coming back. They're going to be adding all this stuff back. So yeah, I think the mobility has been a plus so far. So for the cons section, so I don't really have a ton, because to be honest with you, I've absolutely been loving my experience so far. I'm playing with all my old buddies and whatever. But first off, I will say the no old weapon models is kind of disappointing. When you load into the game, the first thing you see is, the tier 1 skin holding that OG pump, that green-blue pump from, 2017, 2018 that we all know and love. But when you load into the game, you actually will be using the Chapter 2 model of the pump. And the same thing goes for the tac shotgun. You'll be using the Chapter 2 model attack. And I know for some people it might not be a big deal because the guns function basically the same. But for me, it kind of took me out. It kind of hurt the immersiveness of the season, right? Like, because I think everyone was expecting to go way back, and that includes weapons. And I think this actually ties into my next point. The burst assault rifle, while it is extremely strong this season, and I would actually probably recommend it, it's kind of disappointing to not see the OG burst, right? The blue burst that everybody loves. I think that was in a lot of the leaks. I think it was in one of the leaked images. So maybe it's gonna come in the future, but for right now, I am kind of disappointed to not see that at launch. I think that was one of the core guns, back in the day, and basically every other core OG weapon returned except for the blue burst. So I think that's a little bit disappointing for me as an avid lover of that gun. And then finally, I want to discuss the length of this season, because I think people are going to be disappointed when they find out that this season only lasts a month, right? I think the official date is December 3rd. It ends. And so I think, I don't know how they're going to tackle, keeping players attractive after that month, because during that month they're going to have an insane amount of players. I mean, every week they're doing a new a new OG season 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe X as well is going to be in there, and that's great for this month. But I don't know why they aren't doing it for longer. I feel like it's kind of a given. People love playing on this OG map. People want to keep playing on it. So I'm a little disappointed in how short the season is, and who knows, maybe they'll extend it down the line. But for now, I think the length is a little bit too short. But again, I'm not sure what they'll end up doing with it. I hope that they'll extend it a little bit, but I think a month is just a little too short. I think people would like to stay for a little longer. So these are all my thoughts on the new season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm super eager to see what everyone's thinking. I absolutely love it. I think this season is fantastic. This is really going to bring back a lot of players. It's brought back all my friends that quit the game a long time ago. So I think that this is really, really a good stepping stone for Fortnite. But again, let me know what you guys think. Agree, disagree, let me know, and I will see you guys later.